What up, though? My name is Jay Sams.
I go by the name of Prolyphic The Professional. And this is the Unorganized Progression Podcast. We are back. And this time, who we got in the house with us, man?
Shorts Brew. Good Humans Ale.
Yeah.
So, never had it before.
It's a dry hop double brown ale. So, brown. Think about brown. Think about coffee. Think about any hot chocolate. Any of those thick ass drinks, man. That's kind of what we're dealing with here.
Just
man.
cheers it up, man.
Let's cheers it up.
Let's do the thing.
We actually opened it before we got on the camera. Anyway, so we've dealt with the fears that we faced.
Yep.
And we drew the conclusion that okay, this is kind of always going to be in the back of our minds. Sometimes you just get to a point where you can deal with it easier than you normally would have, or maybe you're a little bit more comfortable. There's still always going to be that fear. So at this point, we're past that. We're ready to make the next step, first leap into whatever the venture is, whether it's music, whether it's investing in the stock market, real estate, opening your own business, whatever the case may be. So we'll talk a little bit about the first steps that we took. Again, not necessarily in what we're doing now currently, but just trying to think outside the box, so to speak, for ourselves and for our life and based on our circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of had this discussion, as we always do. We talk in between the episodes, and we talked about some of your initial ventures
for sure
you wanted to jump off into, and things that you may be interested in down the line, but necessarily didn't work out for you initially.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you want to get into that a little bit, we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So I've always had in mind that I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to be my own businessman. I wanted to do something. I wanted to create opportunity for myself and for others. So I was always thinking what could that be? So in my early 20s, I think 21, 22, I got off into real estate, went and got my real estate license. Mm-hmm. And I thought it'd be dope for me to actually own some properties and become a landlord. But at that time, I felt like I knew me, right? But I didn't really know myself.
Okay.
Because being a landlord turned out to be something I really did not want to do.
Gotcha.
Being so young, and I realized hey, this is a lot of work. I don't want to have to deal with the tenants, so I don't want to do this. But to make a long story short, after I got my real estate license, I went out and I searched for a few houses that I could actually get. So I found 2 homes, and I actually financed, and they came with tenant ready. I was okay with the property. I thought the property was solid inside and out. But you know what? From the 3rd month in, the tenants started having problems. Okay. It was always an issue. The septic tank issue. It was I don't have my rent issue. It was something I
imagine that'd be number one.
For sure.
Yeah. Number one issue.
What was one of your initial failures that you had that you may not want to disclose when you was a little bit younger? But it's appropriate now. This is a growth moment, yeah.
Got you. It was actually a few different moments, and I can give you a short timeline. I would like to say that it wasn't necessarily a failure. It was more so my failure to see where the industry was going.
Okay.
So I say we'll rewind to maybe 2000, 2001. I always looked at the kind of boom that was going on in music, or urban music, so to speak, where you had the No Limits, the Rough Riders, the Rockefellers, all these crews just popping up out of nowhere, and they was yelling independent, and I mean that was a real thing. But here I am, high school cat, 16, 17 years old. I'm I want to do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to be that. I don't want to only be the talent. I want to be the guy that's kind of holding all this together. You know what I'm saying? And then once I actually, the internet wasn't as big of a deal. It was a big thing then, but it wasn't as accessible now. Right. Yeah. So to get the exposure and the understanding of those things, you still had to read books. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at Donald Passman. I'm looking at a couple other authors on how to succeed. What are some of the rules? And obviously that's print media. So by the time this hits the shelves, things have changed.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It can be 6 months to a year before they hit the shelf.
Of course. And not only that, Napster rolled around.
Okay. I remember.
Napster, all those services where you could download music illegally. And so at that point, it was almost not even as beneficial to try to either get with or become a record label. If it wasn't already in the works or happening at that point, it was kind of like, you're late. You know what I'm saying? So there goes the first idea. You know, why do that?
So you felt like you almost failed before you got started.
Yeah, I felt like I failed in spending that much time trying to figure out how this actually works and how to create this thing when it's about to be phased out.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Here comes the digital age where you don't have to necessarily get the big budget studio and send it off to a pressing plant and then have to get this big old rollout when the internet is coming around and your joint is on there for free before the date that you had set for 6 weeks from now. You know what I'm saying? And that drives down record sales. So there we go. There's not as much money being made. So it's kind of like, I'm not necessarily drawn to the money, but that was a nice perk. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, the money in certain avenues, certain streams was greater than having a job still. You know what I'm saying? Greater than going to get a 9 to 5, so why not do it still? So off to college and started actually getting a little bit deeper into it, making tracks, spending a little bit of money that I do have on equipment. Sometimes purchasing things that ain't even necessary.
What was two questions? What was the first piece of equipment that you bought? And then two, what was the first thing you bought that wasn't necessary?
The first piece of equipment that I bought was, at the time, it was a software program called Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops.
Sounds terrible.
Fruity Loops.
Sounds terrible. Sounds stupid.
That's where you make beats at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it don't sound like stuff today. It sounds like you'll be making like Nickelodeon stuff on there.
It does.
Something, you know what I mean?
Something a little kiddish.
And I didn't even buy like the full version. I got like the cheapest version ever. So it was like some things weren't there. Some things didn't come with it. But what it allowed me to do is it allowed me to learn structure. It allowed me to learn time signatures. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna go too deep into that because that's for another podcast.
That's another language.
Yeah. But everybody knows what a time signature is in music. They just don't know that they know.
Oh.
It's kind of like boom, it's 1, 2. It's whatever. But
Okay.
But you can have different signatures.
That was kind of nice.
You can have different signatures with a song. So I bought that. I think I paid like $99.
All right.
And at that point, that actually did work out in my favor, but I had the worst laptop in the world at the time. You know what I'm saying? Crash, boom. Everything that I thought I was working on was gone. You know what I'm saying? So I started linking up with other people in college and, you know, met up with some guys that they had certain equipment that I couldn't afford, Pro Tools and things like that. So I'm like, bet I'm gonna start working with y'all. And that only lasts as long as the person is willing to let you do it.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? Like when you're not an owner, it's just like owning property. You can only do so much before the owner decides he ain't willing to deal with you no more.
You're not in complete control of nothing.
At all.
Yeah.
So you're at the mercy of whatever they allow. And I spent a lot of time just, you know, Nashville is where I was at. Nashville is considered Music City for the United States. And it's a lot of country music though.
For sure.
But interning at radio stations, there was a recording engineering institute that was down there. I would just go there and help the students. I wasn't enrolled. I would just go there and sit. Any student that needed a project to be done or he needed somebody to go and say check 1, 2 on the mic, whatever, I was there.
That's what's up.
Just doing it. And that allowed me, all this stuff is like free education that I'm getting at this point because again, the internet ain't popping like it is now at that point.
Man.
Yeah.
Hands-on.
Yeah, so we down there. And I'll say the biggest, the biggest waste of money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The biggest waste of money I'll say was pay to play, so to speak. And I'll give y'all a few examples of that. Pay to play is if you ever see an event going on where it's an open mic or a showcase and they ask you to pay to perform, that's BS. Don't do it. Done that before.
So hold on, let me ask you. So there was a showcase happening.
Yes.
And they said you could get on if you pay us X amount of dollars.
Exactly.
So you really paid to rap.
Exactly. We'll pay for somebody else to rap in that case, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You should never do that. Anytime that you are the talent, and it's not a situation where you just getting on for free exposure, you should not be paying, because it works the other way around. The venue doesn't get paid for you to walk through there. The venue pays you to come through there to bring more people in. Little Caesars didn't. Jay-Z didn't pay Little Caesars last week to come perform the other way around.
For sure.
Because they knew he was going to bring in all the people that came in, including some of the celebrities and stuff like that. So that's the number one scam. And the second one is another pay-to-play situation where there's a quote-unquote popular DJ that's putting together a mixtape, and he wants all these artists to be a part of it. You know how DJ Khaled does his thing?
Absolutely.
He's got 20 tracks, all these different artists on it. He puts it out as an album. You get these random DJs that say they know X, Y, and Z in the music industry. Be a part of this mixtape, but you'll get exposure to all these executives and all these people in the world. But it costs you this much to get your song on there. Like, that's bullshit. Like, that's not even realistic. All you doing is making money off this. These people who seemingly think they're about to get a spot.
You're hoping that they shop that mixtape,
which they are not going to do.
Yeah.
At all. It's freaking ridiculous. But that is another situation that.
So did you feel did you have a little, what's the word, man? Did you feel like a little negative energy about actually doing that when you did do it?
You saying before I actually
gave them the money? Yeah.
Me being who I am, yes. Me working with who I was working with at the time, couldn't really convince them that this is about to be some bull.
So they just said, yeah, we're going to do this.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to support your dream, brother.
And it turned out to be BS, right?
It turned out to be nothing. It's almost like we just threw it in the garbage.
Was it a few $100s, a few $1,000s?
No. It was probably like $200.
$200? Okay.
Yeah, at the time.
And you was a college student then?
Fresh out of college at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And shame on the people that still do this, because I actually still see this stuff on the internet to this day. And we're talking about 16 years ago, 15 years ago at this point now for me. Yeah. So it's like, all right, or no, I'm sorry, maybe like 12 or 11. But those are things that you just got to watch out for. And there are plenty more, but just me, myself personally, like, and when you go through that, you do that enough times, even once for me, you kind of get a little apprehensive when it comes to actually reaching out to people or submitting for certain opportunities and things like that. And the reason I know this is BS, outside of reading it, what I'm into right now with the publisher that I work with, anytime there's an opportunity for me to be a part of a film, television show, commercial, video game, whatever, we actually submit for the opportunity, and then we break bread once it actually comes to fruition.
That sounds more legit.
He doesn't charge me to actually submit for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, sign this paperwork. This says that we're going to agree to these terms should we get to from point A to B. And then if we do get there, whatever the negotiated price is, here are the splits. You know what I'm saying? That's the way business actually works. And not even just music, but in a lot of different regards. But saying all that to say, I had to go through those pitfalls, fall in those rabbit holes to get to the point of understanding. And I still don't understand it all, still working, still progressing, so to speak, but it's it's just an ongoing journey, man.
It is. You think about we like to see where we want to be, right? But so many times that we don't take where we are and actually just enjoy that. You know what I mean? It's the experience that really makes us happy. Not the end goal. The end goal is a byproduct of the experience that we had.
That's true.
So it's just like us trying to realize that even though we're on this journey, you're doing one thing, I'm doing another thing, we come together, we have unorganized progression. Yeah. Right? But we still have a direction that we want to see the show in. We're going to have fun until we reach our goal. Yeah. And then we make a new goal. Yeah. And then we have fun while we do that.
You always have an ultimate goal. You want to have short-term goals. At least for myself, I like to set short-term goals that are kind of like hash marks in the in the grand scheme, or in the final measurement. It's going to be this. But when I have hash marks and when I hit that, you can at least see the progression as opposed to looking at it like, dang, I'm still not there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you're on a road trip. If you're driving from Michigan to Florida, you're always going to be like, bet, we in Kentucky now. Oh man, we in Tennessee now. You know what I'm saying? Those are the hash marks, so you know you're making progress to get to that point. And that's all it's about for us here, man. and we just gonna continue to press on. We're actually recording this the day after Thanksgiving, so it's kind of lax. I'm actually full as hell right now, and I don't even know if I'm getting off this couch when we get done. But that's where we are, man. And we, like I said, we here sticking with y'all weekly. We're gonna keep this consistent. We're gonna hopefully do some other things with some other people, but you know, we're gonna keep feeding the people, at least from the energy that we can give off. And hopefully y'all stick with us, man.
It's not hopefully. It's more so like, yes, we have some pretty cool stuff lined up for you guys. Like, we're in the process of obtaining excellence in finance and in music, also in this podcast. But we're going to bring this to people. We're going to take you guys on our journey as we talk with people that are exceeding or selling rather in their craft. Whether it being as a real estate agent to like one of the biggest bars in our city.
Yeah.
So that's going to come. You guys are going to get this, what their journey was like.
Yeah, we want to learn their stories, how they got to where they are and where they plan on going. And we want y'all to be engaged in our situations too. You know, when things pop up for us, we'll start to, you know, we'll keep y'all abreast of our accomplishments as well. You know, this is the holiday week, kind of slow, nothing's going on, but you know, we want y'all to get excited with us and for us for the things that we accomplish. And if things pop up, we'll definitely let y'all know. Definitely.
So with that said, my name is Jay Sims, one half of Unorganized Progressions, aka 50% of this team. You are?
Oh yeah, the other 50%, Prolyphic The Professional. You can visit me at musicbypro.com. Obviously YouTube and SoundCloud, search The Unorganized Progression Podcast every Tuesday. Make sure you don't have anything else to do after work or whatever. Maybe when the kids go to bed, man, give us a listen, man. We only need 30 minutes to an hour of your time weekly.
That's it. You know, you can watch us on YouTube, or you can just hit the YouTube button or SoundCloud button. Do what you got to do. Cook dinner for the family. Wash dishes. Whatever it is that you're doing, you know. But we want to bring some value to your life that hopefully enhance it and give you what do we want to give them? We want to give them inspiration, right? Inspiration.
Yeah,
to go out and just reach your goals and just have fun and just do all the things that you may think that, hey, it's too late. It's not too late. It can be done.
Too late. Never too late, man. So with that said, I think that's the perfect way for us to go ahead and close out with y'all. Happy holidays, all those other things in between. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. And we out.
Happy holidays.
Peace.